Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing great. If you can hear me and the sound of my voice is clear, kindly drop a message to confirm that you can hear me 5-5. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just drop a message to confirm that you can hear my voice. We are going to start in a few, expecting the instructor to join us. He's currently trying to connect. But while waiting for him, I'd like to acknowledge all those who are on the call, especially where you are coming from, especially where you are coming from. So please drop in the chats where you are coming from so that we are going to acknowledge where you are coming from. Okay, we have someone from Cote d'Ivoire. The good news is that I just landed in Abidjan, and because you are agile, I'm currently managing the call from the car. Bonsoir depuis la Côte d'Ivoire. Hello from Nairobi. Hello, John from Nigeria. Hope you are doing great in Lagos. Hello, Rose from Angola. And we have Jean-Pierre from Kigali. That's great to see people from all over Africa, Kenya, Tanzania. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let it come again. Let it come. On top of letting us know where you are connecting from, may we also know for the candidates connected when you are planning to write your PMP. We have our instructor in the house while he's trying to set up his screen and all that. I'm sure he will be glad to also know when you guys are planning to write your PMP as well. Yeah, someone is going in 23 days. Yeah, John is well. Okay, April 25th, April 15th, April 30th. We had a lot of April candidates. April 9th. Awesome. That is next week. by this time we are going to have a good news. Hey, why are you crying? Is it like you're emotional? Wow. April 6th. Oh, just the day after tomorrow. Okay, Jean-Pierre. So Jean-Pierre, I'm sure you get in touch with our instructor of the day because you guys are both based in Kigali, I'm sure, so that you have a last discussion before the D-Day. All right, so we could see that we have a lot of April candidates. This is not April Fool, but yes, that's so exciting because you'll be numbered among the latest successful candidates of the PMP based on the 7th edition of the PMBOK. All right, so without wasting my today, we have in the house an expert that has been definitely I've been managing some of our sessions. So today we are going to go through leading people for project success, so conflict, collaboration, and team performance. So I have in the house Dr. Innocent Osagara. Let me say it again, is a doctor. So you have the opportunity today to be instructed by a learned man. So without wasting much time, I'm sure Dr. Innocent will be more than happy to introduce himself. So let me just hand over to Dr. Innocent to kick off today's session. Dr. Innocent, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Innocent.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Awesome. All right, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for taking. Yes, thank you for taking the time. So, you know, I was having a traffic jam. So I was having a traffic jam, but now I'm well settled. I want. Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I want, first of all, to welcome everyone, the project management professional, and also share maybe a brief experience with it. I got certified in 2017. It was in December. And before I was just saving my my Project Plus, Computer Project Plus from 2014. And my background is mathematics. My PhD is in mathematics. But why someone with mathematics background can go for project management? So this will be inspiring everybody. From my secondary school, it was mathematics. From my undergraduate, it was mathematics. In my master's, it was mathematics. And in my PhD, it was mathematics. But I have done the PMP, and not now in 2017. In 2014, I was having my Project Plus. So the reason is simple. Opportunities which are around the PMP certification. When I got it in 2017, in 2018, 2019, I had brought a business of more than 300,000 USD for my company, just in a 1 year. And nothing else, it was just the PMP. And in some bidding, they were just funded by the World Bank. And we were only the people with PMP and also registered educational provider that were vetted by the World Bank. Other institutions have tried, even the big ones, but they did not get. So you can understand from there why did I go for it, and why we are here also with our company performing well. It is just coming from the PMP, from the PMI. So this can be inspiring people who did management, who did economics, who did project management, now really to understand that even a pure scientist, they opted to go for also the project management. Another thing that I tell to the pupil always, if you are an employer, you are a director, you are a CEO, you are an MD, I will encourage you to recruit people with the PMP certification for two simple reasons. First of all, getting this certification is not too easy. You have to work for it. That is why it has its own value. So someone with a PMP certification is first of all vetted by the PMI, but you also know that this guy is serious. People who are well organized, who are committed and very serious are the one who can get the PMP certification, not everybody. I am not saying that if you fail, you are not someone. If you fail, it is a lesson learned. It will be good. It is a good experience. What I can say that you are stupid, it is when you will be giving up. You have to make sure that always you plan for it, you do, you fail, you do again, you pass. Or you do, you pass it automatically. To fail, it's not an issue because anyone who can laugh at you, ask him or her to do the exam and ask him the PMP certification. So when you are having a such principle, automatically you pass. Why? Because you are not fearing anything, because the outcome is to either pass or fail. But the focus and the objective is to get the PMP certification. Even by failing, it is an experience you are gaining and also recognition of the certification that it is very strong. And then you pass it. So anyone who is here should sit for the exam and should have his or her PMP certification. So the number one, it was that this exam is very rigorous and the employers, they know that someone with a PMP certification is a serious guy. So if you are an MD, please recruit people with the PMP certification. They will not let you lie down. This was number one. Number two, the security. Let me, when we are talking about security, people are just understanding many things, but let us go in security about the information, the confidential information of the organization. Someone can be a project manager in your organization and he takes all of the information that you are having, the confidential information, and sharing with the competitors. If you catch him straight away, if he is a PMP certified, you don't mind. Immediately you are going to report the case to the PMI and automatically they are going to revoke the certification. And once they revoke the certification, the guy can't do any, can't run any other project in a bigger organization like World Bank, like UNDP, like whatever. Why? Because the PMP is accredited by ANSI, American National Standard Institutes. When they revoke your certification, they put also a reason. And that reason can't allow that guy to practice the project management profession anywhere in a bigger project. So because the people who are certified are fearing that, you are sure that you are with the people who are loyal to your organization, who cannot compromise your organization. This really was, those are 2 points, main points that if you are an MD, if you are a CEO, if you are a manager, and you have to recruit people with project management, you have to, for project management, recruit the people with the certification, because this you will be in a safe zone. So this was just really my introduction, and I'm saying that I'm based in Rwanda, in Kigali, and you can see the good picture which are there. Those pictures, they are just really showing the Kigali. This is the Kigali Convention Center, where a lot of organizations are coming for conducting the conferences, and it was really a very big project that happens. But after this project, if you can tell you how the hospitality has increased and how really people who have invested in real estate, especially hospitality, apart hotel and hotels, now really they are getting their money. Also, someone who is in front of you right now, yes, I did the mathematics, but also now I'm an investor in real estates. So I'm also in apart hotels. And when I'm talking you about what happens with this project, the success of it, I know numbers. So it means that from any field where you are, you can't be successful if you are not a project management professional, or if you are really not having any project that you are running, because for getting revenue, they have to come from the project. And then when you are a PMP certified, now you get confidence, and also the people, you get a credibility, and the people can be confident of you. They can really give you they can give you the opportunities. So that's the first. So now, today, we will be just talking on lead people for project success. So what does it mean? So you don't, even in the PMP exam, always when they ask you a question, you have just to understand that you are a project manager, you are looking for the success of a project. Now, for example, if you are talking about manage conflicts, I'm also telling you that if you are a project manager, you should be ready for conflicts. If your project does not have a conflict, this is not a project. Resign from today and go and join any other organization so that you can get really beautiful project. Because conflict means what? So it is something that is having a highest interest, and also which is much more complex, where they are looking someone with highest skills, not only that, but with highest confidence and also ability to influence everyone and work toward the success of the project. So conflict is something very natural. If conflicts are not there, it means that requirements are very simple. Everyone is understanding, nothing more complicated. So this does not need a project manager to be there. So take a conflict as a real life in projects. So lead the team. Also here you have to lead the team, but it is not about leading the team. It is about leading the project. When you are leading the team, you make sure that the project becomes successful. It is not being just like a hash of the pupil or friendly of the pupil. It is about the success of the project. So when you are leading, now you should be having what you call emotional intelligence, where really you are going to make sure that everyone is following you, everyone is happy, everyone needs to reach to the success. Then you have to support the team performance. Yes, a project manager or really a senior manager, he's there just to remove impediments, to remove blockers, to remove many things, many obstacles, so that someone can reach to the objectives. You have to be ready that we'll be seeing some team members who are not performing well. It is not you are right to tell them you are no. So you have to see the weaknesses, and after seeing the weaknesses, you support, you address that. In addressing that, it is through the training, through coaching, and through mentorship. So training, coaching, mentorship, those are three things which are completing each other. When we are talking about training, it is about providing the skills which are really needed straight away. And then when we are talking about coaching, it is just now the application of those skills to a real life problems, to the project itself. And then the mentorship, it is now long term, where you give the experienced guy, they will be with the junior guys, and then they will be mentoring them along the way. So you have to be a servant leader. And with even this title, I can even say that we are done, but let us go in deep. So in the management of conflicts, first of all, interpret the source. and the stage of the conflicts. You have to know the conflict came from where, it is at which stage, depending on where the conflict comes from, and depending on the level at which it is, there are strategies that you can utilize for managing those conflicts. So analyze the context for the conflicts. The conflicts, it will be contextualized. If a conflict is now within a public institution, if a conflict is in a private institution, if a conflict is within Middle East, so it will be depending on the culture of the organization and the culture of the location and so on. So now you have to evaluate, recommend, and reconcile the appropriate conflict resolution solution, which is there. So this is where we'll be. So this was just the part one. So now, why conflict really management matters. So ineffective conflicts management leads to destructive behavior, animosity, and poor performance. So, and really reduce the productivity, and the people can't be really happy to work on the project. Maybe they are waiting for just the end of the month to get the salary, but they are not happy. So effective conflict management will be leading to improved understanding and better performance and the higher productivity. So productivity means that the project is success. So you will be having just pupil, and the pupil will be having different direction. It will be depending, maybe peers, maybe managers, maybe whatever. So, but always you should be having an emotional intelligence and have some interpersonal skills that will help you to handle really the conflicts. You are not there to create conflicts. You are there to resolve conflicts. You are there really to empower your team to resolve conflict and lead really the team so that you reach to the success. So the cause of conflicts, there are many, but they can come from competition. They can come from the schedule. The tight schedule can create a conflict. They may come from the expertise. They can come from really nowhere. You will find that the conflict will become personal at the 7th level, which means that when you see a conflict and you start to personalize the thing, you are really stupid. You are not a very good project manager. You have to understand that there might be some reasons, some root causes that which are creating those conflicts, so that if you remove those root causes, then the conflict will be. For example, people can be conflicting because of the schedule. So now, if you plan very well the schedule with the team, those conflicts will not be coming. Maybe the conflict may be happening because of priorities. So now, if now something is a priority, people should be knowing each other so that this is a priority. And when we are talking about priority, we define a priority by using 2 indicators. We say, is this thing very important to the project? Is it very urgent? So now, if it is very urgent and very important, so now you should be putting a highest priority. But if it is something very important, but which is not urgent, you can postpone and put it in the future, rather than making people conflicting among themselves. So anyway, in another way, it means when you are resolving conflicts, you base on just really the legitimacy and the urgency. When you base on the legitimacy and the urgency, you will find a best solution. So conflict as part of team culture. So I told you, in a psychology safety work environments, view disruption and innovation are connected. So as they are connected, you know, unless you are doing something which is really not strong, but if it is a very big and complex project, disagreements will be there because many people might have a different way of doing. Only what you have to do, it is to prevent escalation, to make sure that decisions are taken and you go on with the project and you go to the next step. And also when you are taking decisions, it has to be, you have to be transparent and very open. So how to handle conflicts? So now, maybe this page, which I have called page 8. So you have to be, please remember, conflicts are there when really there are no ground rules when there are no policies. When they are the team charter, first of all, every staff is having his or her own contracts. If he's having the contract is saying what he will be working on and what is really the output, which is needed from him, and the key performance indicators. So when you use that, you can't go into conflict with someone, even when you are going into the performance review, your performance appraisal. You will be having something to base. And also there are some ground rules which are related to the organization. You have to make sure that they are very clear. So this is something that really everyone should be knowing. When you base on the project, on the team charter, when you are talking about team charter, understand just the team contracts. And then ground rules for the organization, and then the strategic objective of the project. You should be always seeing where you go. That's it. And everyone will be following. So now, also you have to see when conflicts are there, you have to know when you are going to solve the conflicts, you have to check at which level are. So here we are having this level of conflicts. LIS has classified, it was in 2012, it has classified the conflict in 5 levels. The first level, it was a problem to solve because there is a problem. Now to solve it, it becomes a problem itself, and then conflicts are coming and people are disagreeing. This is the second stage. You should not be going beyond disagreements. At this disagreement, you should be there and you remove the impediments and you decide and you go. But when you don't intervene, also it goes to the contest. People will say, no, I will not even not go back to work until this is resolved, and then manifestation and so on. And then you can even reach to a level where it is fight flight. I can even go, I can leave, whatever. So, and then intractable situation, you reach to a situation where you can't resolve anymore. So you have to know the level at which the conflict is, and which interpersonal skills which are needed. Emotional intelligence, you should be utilizing empathy to understand and diffuse the situation. Use fluid communication rather than really abuse people. So you have to understand, even if someone is not performing well, or if they are in a conflict, you have to understand that those things is not personal. It came from different causes, which is not personal. So you have to be empathetic, because someone in a conflict, he needs really support. And then you should be having the influence. You have to influence. You should be really able to influence all of the parties so that you reach to a common consensus. And you know, the fluid tone that we have to use. So, and then you change them. For example, if someone is very aggressive, maybe you just cool down so that also he can cool down. And then you should be having leadership. You are not, anyway, we are talking the project management professional. I don't know if we are going to call it a project leadership professional, but we will be going into leadership. But this time, we are not a manager dictate, a manager direct, but a leader provide the guidance and so on. So you should be providing really the directions to the team, so that really the conflict goes out. So decision making, active listening. Also, you have to take decision on time, and also you should be having the active listening. You will even find yourself when you will listen to a guy, then he can even automatically tells you, you know, I'm okay, even if maybe you have taken another decision because you have listened. So in solving conflicts, we are having 5 ways methods. So we are having smoothing or accommodate. The smoothing or accommodate, it is where you will be taking the intersection. So now, let me go to the PMP exam. If they come to the PMP exam and they give you, for example, a multiple choice question where you have to select only one answer, and you find that they have put smooth, they have put also accommodation on a second, then you will say smooth and accommodation can't be the answer. Why? Because smooth and accommodation, they mean the same. Accommodation means you are accommodating someone. You are taking just the intersection of what? Then where you are having disagreement, you remove. This is called smoothing. And then, so it emphasizes on area of agreement, consider position to maintain harmony and relationship. Then the withdraw, you go to withdraw or avoid. Withdraw or avoid, it's just really a method which is utilized. Retreat from the situation, postpone the issue. For example, when you are not having enough time, you have to use withdraw, because if you go to that, you will find yourself just delaying to reach to your objective. Compromise or reconcile. Compromise or reconcile, those means the same. Also, like in multiple choice, if you find they have put compromise and they have put also reconcile, automatically you say, no, this will not be an answer. Or if they have put force and direct, this will not be an answer if you have to select one question, unless they tell you many are correct. So collaborate, now compromise, you take intersection and you add something. So incorporate multiple viewpoints, enable cooperative attitudes, open dialogue to reach a consensus and commitments. But here they did not say you are having the intersection. For example, let me say that you are in a conflict. And then when you are in a conflict, all of you remember that you are Rwandan. So this, now, if you take the intersection that you are Rwandan, and you avoid to say anything which is related to you and so on, you take this will be smoothing or accommodate. Then it will be compromise or reconcile, when one party will say, okay, let us take the intersection, but can you add this point from my side? I will also be taking 1 point from your side. And then all of the parties agree on that. This is by what we call consensus. And this is now compromise or reconcile. And then force or direct, most of the time, it is just to take one side. You say you pursue your viewpoints at the expenses of others, offer only one win-lose solution. It means that you say, please do like this. I don't want anything else to be discussed here. So it means that if people were in the conflict for two directions, you are providing one direction and you are forgetting the other direction. This is called the win-lose, because there is a loser in that. Then collaborate and problem solve. Now this is where you go into root cause, and you incorporate several viewpoints and insight from a varying perspective. Then to require a cooperative attitude and open dialogue, but you have to search for a solution that typically lead to consensus and the commitments. So in this way, in collaboration and problem solve, it is when really you go into, you confront. Also, they call it confrontation. You confront the problem. You go into root cause, you analyze, and you take. So do you use this method when you are having enough time? Maybe at the beginning of the project, but you can't use this method when you are at the end of the project, because at the end of the project, you are remaining with a short time so that you can't get the time. So this really was just like about the project, the conflicts. So now I want to give you something. Let me give you a small quiz on that. I believe it will be really wonderful. Let me waiting for the link to come. So where is my chat? So this was just about the conflicts. Okay. You go there and you can do the quiz and you can tell us how much did you get in that. And passing or failing, it's material. But what you will see, you can just use that as the learning. We are not looking for the person who will be the best, but if you become the best, all of you will be very happy. So, but you know, the best one is the one who is having his PMP certification. Can you go there? I want that at 7:45, that will be done. And then we go to the next. You can put here, if you finish, tell us, I got this, I got this. It's good in the chat. Hello, welcome back. Congratulations. I am so happy that you have passed. We didn't put much of conflict in that questions, in those questions. We have put them just toward the next. Craft your leadership skills. Leader, lead the team. The questions, as I have seen, 4 over 5, 5 over 5, it was really wonderful. I believe that you will be. So now you see this beautiful lady, the way he is, the way she's smiling. So she does have what we call power skills. Leadership, it is about really power skills, emotional intelligence. So you have to use interpersonal. When you are talking about interpersonal, it means that anything that you should be having so that really people can really follow you, can really accept that really they are working on fantastic projects, and you should be having an empathy, really a smiling face, a fluid communication. So that's really about the leadership. So having those skills, most of the time, people are having technical skills. And then when we go to the to more skills, to emotional skills, to whatever, you find them really helpless. You find them, they can't do anything. So you understand that really having the leadership skills require a lot. I don't know what can be and what cannot be, but remain assured that interpersonal skills, political awareness, decision making, conflict management, all of those, so that really you read your people. So now there will be different leadership approaches and style, because it will even be depending on the team, on the team. So you understand that but the mostly emotional intelligence and active listening, communication style, those are the highest needed skills. So leadership style, those are tailored really to those considerations. There are the one where you use direct, consultative, servant leadership, consensus, situational. So it will be depending on the situation. So servant leadership, the servant leader removes impediments. Adopt a growth mindset, so that let past experience and the processes provide a guidance for, but not dictate your actions. Don't say the person maybe last time he didn't perform well, then today you're supposed to not perform well. No. And then you have to make a team building. There are different tools that you can use. And you have to know at which level people they are. If it is on the formation stage, storming, norming, performing, adjourning, those are the stages. When everyone is joining, everyone is happy. But when they start, storming starts. And then norm starts, they comes in, and then performing. And then there is a time the project is closing, the people have to go. So this is now adjourning. So the tone that you have to use, as I told you, fluid communication and positive interaction. So then also emphasize the project vision and value. Always commit to and to be accountable for delivering value. Yes, you should be having, you have to be precise. So virtual team, you have to know also what is your team, where they are, so that you manage them. based on the situation. You can put someone, you put a meeting in the midnight in the US because you see in the morning. And then you start to think that someone did not come. So you have really to make sure that you are having the advanced interpersonal skills. Also, the last was to support the team member performance. How do you do? You have to manage and lead. So you manage by objectives. Use clear objectives to guide productivity and encourage aspiration. Set objectives collaboratively with team members where people can come and then you set objectives. And because everyone is having a team charter, a contract, they will be following. Create challenging yet attainable objective at the start of a project or phase. Throughout the project life cycle as an iterational planning. So you have really to make sure that you put strategic objectives which are there. And then you have to be a servant leader. So you have to help your people and to motivate them. And the motivation, we are having different type of motivation. And you have to identify strengths and weaknesses. And where there are weaknesses, you have to give the support to the team. So then don't make a fixed assumption or judgment based on results. Share anyone's personal information without permissions. So sometimes people, they are just assumptive. They say, because last time this guy was like this, then he still always see you like that. So really the thing that you have also to coach the team, to make sure that you help them to apply the skills at the work. Sometimes the people don't have the experience and you can just really help them. So emotional intelligence, this is something very important. There are things which are on the self side and the other things which are on the social awareness. Self-awareness first and self-management. You should be giving you direction. For me, I'm the project manager. I shouldn't be drunk. I shouldn't be reaching late. You put self-control and transparency to you so that others can help. And also you have to know who you are. Even sometimes you can tell the people I'm like this so that really they try, because you have to know who you are. And then you have to be also knowing that if the community is not there, you can't be there. So empathy is something very important. So social skills, you can see this team the way they are. They don't have a uniform, but everyone, you can even feel that they have a uniform. So they are corporate guys. So that was just what we have. Let me come here and give you, let me see if there is anything else I can give you. But you have worked very well on the quiz. You have got, let me see if I can check the performance. I have to log in there as so that's it. Let me go into, I have to share with you the results that we have got. Okay, where's the, but you can even try to ask questions while I'm just looking for the team. 54. Or I give you also something else. Let me give you. Remember, we delayed just like 5 minutes. So I'm having more 10 minutes. So you can also go there and now you do conflict management. Yes, we will be sharing, no worry. We are going to be providing them to PMI and then PMI is going to share with all of you. And I think also the video is being recorded. I want also Max there, and then we conclude. I'm having 9 minutes more. So I want that you are done by 8, and then from 8 to 8:05, I get questions. So, Max, put your Max, please. Only 5 questions. Yes, Ibrahim. 4/5. Congrats. No one else? That's wonderful. So you can see the way we're responding. 18 have responded. You are mostly on 3. You can't see the names. Don't worry. I am not going to display the names. So 22 are here. And you see the normal distribution. Okay. The average score is 3. Wow. Average score again, 14. 6 have got 4. No one 5. Okay. I can see 7, 7. Normal distribution. You can see this is a Gaussian distribution. Huh? Distribution of person. Distribution de poisson. Wow, 5. Congrats. Wow. So happy. Okay, so now let me say I am remaining with 4 minutes. Let me maybe stop by here, and then you ask questions. I am available at your disposal. I think the mic are not activated so that they can speak. Nelson, the mic are not active. They can't ask questions.
All right, doctor. So let me try and activate the mic of all candidates.
Yeah, this was the first one, but we are having the second one. Oh, very sorry. This one, let me see. Did I give them the manager? Yes, this is the one. Very sorry for that. This is the one. Of managing conflicts. So, no question? Because I can see your mics are now active. Anyway, so if there is no question, let me give just to you something like guidance for the examination. And it's just like repeating what I have said. Please, better to schedule the exam the earliest, because when you take much time, you forget. This is number one. Number two, the version of the exam is changing soon. In June, by the end of June. So in July, we'll be having another version. And the percentage in terms of domain, they will be changing. So you have to sit for the exam before that time. There are only 2 outcomes. Either you pass or you fail. Failing is not a problem. The problem is not to get your PMP. That's what I can tell you. So try. If you fail, it is an experience. I'm not encouraging you to fail, by the way, because one sitting is doable, is possible. If people have done it, if you have done it, you can do it. Because for me, my background is purely mathematics. It doesn't really have any relationship with management, but I'm PMP certified. And I have told you the advantage of the PMP certification toward the organization and toward your personal growth, career growth. So regarding stakeholder management, can you tell us a bit more about power interest matrix? Yes, the power interest matrix, it is where someone might be having a highest interest in your project, but he doesn't have a power. Let me give an example. When we are in sports, we are having fan clubs. Those fan clubs, they are the ones who are managing, and they are the ones who are not even in management, and even who don't know if there is even any management structure in fan clubs. And they are also the team with the management. So a fan who is not or a sympathizer who is not in the management, who is just a simple guy, he's having a highest interest in the team, but he doesn't have any power. So for that, you have to keep him or her informed. Why? Because he will be having the word of mouth, and everywhere they will be knowing your project. So now there is someone who may not be having a highest interest, who is not having any power. For example, there are people who don't like a sport or football, and they don't even manage. They are not even local leaders. They are no ones. Those that have lowest interest and lowest power. So you just monitor them. You monitor them because after some times they may get the interest or they may get power. So you have to monitor them to know what to do. Now, there are guys who might be having a highest power with the lowest interest. Someone can be a leader, a local leader. Wait. A disagreement between stakeholders has not yet been openly expressed, but tension is noticeable and communication is decreasing. So what's conflict, stage of conflict? Oh, so anyway, so when we go to any particular questions, because we'll be having just like the solutions and the explanation to the solution, you will much more understand because they will be telling you the destructor, showing you the destructor which has been there. So in the notes, I'm going to put them there. But when I was talking about now someone with highest interest, highest power, you manage closely. Someone with lowest power, lowest interest, you monitor. Someone with lowest interest, highest power, you just inform. So it means you keep the lowest interest, the lowest power, highest interest have to be informed. The lowest interest, highest power have to be satisfied always. So this is what I can say. So anyway, I can just say thank you very much for today. And I encourage you to sit for the exam very soon. That's what I can say. So I can give the floor back to PMI and really thank you for the opportunity so that I can try to contribute up to my level. And this volunteering is not taken not seriously. It's taken seriously because meeting with the people, connecting, networking, even outside of project management, that's really something very, very important to us. And I will be happy if everyone passes, and I will be happy if they do the exam very quickly, if they don't wait for too long. Thank you. The floor is yours now, PMI.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, thanks so much, Doctor. I think that was a great session, actually. So I don't know whether you still have room to take some questions, because actually we accommodated more time, finally. So in case there's any question, I don't know whether you have some few minutes for some of the candidates.
Yeah, for me, I have my time. I'm home now.
All right, no problem. So technically, Doctor, I believe based on the feedback I received from Nelson, I mean, we are left with, we have still more space, like 50 minutes. So maybe we can go for an answer, and in case maybe you have more questions for them, we can go on and try and see. Is it okay with you, Doctor?
Yeah, sure, sure. I can see Jose Alevelo.
Okay, so we have Jose. Yeah, Jose has a question. Jose, go on.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everyone. So first of all, just to say thanks for your very nice and clear, beautiful presentation. I could see that you got us a little bit with your second questions, right? The first one seemed a little easy, but the second one, they were feel that we shaked a little bit. So I just would like to ask you, if possible, if you can share a few more links on similar questions that we can practice. Because sometimes one thing I see is that the questions in especially study hall, they are a bit tricky. And the answers, they seem to be very close. And one sometimes can get a little bit confused, especially when it asks you what you should be first, what you should do next. Sometimes the next one might confuse with the first. Not always get the right answer. So that's one thing. And the other thing, I just wanted you, if possible, to share some tips on on some tips and tactics that we can use during the exam, ways to look at the questions, quickly answer it, speed up, because time is a concern I see. So I just wanted to get a bit of your experience and your guidance on how to be very efficient for the exam. Thank you.
Yes, really, thank you very much. And I believe your question, you will be answering it to others people. You know about that people who are failing the PMP exam are not the weakest ones. You may even find someone who is very strong, who have even been explaining to others failing the exam. And the question you asked to me, it is now, let me start from the first. You are having the PMP study hall. In the PMP study hall, the questions are much more situational, different from the question that I can give when I'm just like a training. When I train, I just need that you get the skills and immediately you apply those skills to those questions. And also sometimes I relate those questions to a particular domain where we are. So when you teach, you don't complicate much more things. But when you teach to the exam, the complication comes in. Now, number one, there are keywords. If you are having the PMP study hall, no need of any other platforms, because even for our platforms, we use some questions that we are provided by the PMI, because we are an authorized training partners and we are on a premium level. And sometimes how those questions help you, they help you to catch the keywords. First of all, keywords. When you do several questions on different domains, you get the keywords. And then when they will be asking you a question, now when you know the keywords, it will be very easy for you to figure out. So now, on the tips for the exam, in the situational question, when they ask you the list, sometimes you may even think the most because you did not take much time. What does it mean? When they say the most or the least, all of the answers are correct. But there is the least one or there is the best one. So which means it's a big challenge to know really those are the most complex questions. And sometimes they complicated. They can bring it just like in conflict resolution. When they bring it in conflict resolution, you will be knowing the situation. For example, if they tell you, now we are near the end of the project, now the project manager in 10 or 20 minutes will be going to present the overview of the project to the all stakeholders. And then there is a conflict coming in. What is the most? The most will be to avoid, withdraw. But others also, they can be utilized, because if they tell you then direct or dictates, or they give you accommodates or smoothing, or they tell you compromise or reconcile, all of them, they are for conflict resolutions. But the best one to select, it is that one of avoiding, because of the time which is remaining. So the situation, most of the time where all answers are correct. Now, this is a situational question where there is a situation that you have to check. There is a keyword in the question that you have to check, and then you will know the answer automatically. So now this is a tip. When they ask you the most or the least, it means that all of the answers are almost correct, but the answer will be depending on the situation. This was number one, to tell you the hints. Another thing, you remember every question, the maximum time it should be having, it is 1.2 minutes, not more than that. So you can find a question which is highly complicated, which can take you 10 minutes. And automatically, you have to check and see, maybe your first answer, you put your first answer and you flag it for review at the end of the exam. Because they can't, the very complicated question and the very simple question, they are having same marks. They are having same marks. The complicated one and the simplest. And you are going to take 10 minutes just for one question, which is having the same amounts of marks like the simplest one, which you did not see. So now, also calculating your time. Always, there is a clock. You have to check it. So maybe in the exercise, sometimes you may find that you are ending on time, and even you are ending very earlier and so on, because this is not the real exam. In the real exam, everyone can have a fear. So on the clock, you have to check how many minutes. Maybe it was 2 hours, 100, 200 minutes, and you find now 230 minutes. You find now you are remaining with 220 minutes. If you are remaining with 220 minutes, now you should have completed 10 questions. Because in 230, 220 minutes means that 10 minutes are over. In 10 minutes, you should have completed 10 questions. If you find that you have completed the 5 questions and yet 10 minutes are over, you have to start to think that you are behind. So always in the exam, check your clock. And also, they give you two pause. Please make sure that you take your pause, so that for 10 minutes. After 60 questions, they give you a pause. For example, how this can help you in the exam. You can complete 60 minutes and you find yourself, you are on 30, you are 60 questions, and you find that you have consumed the 90 minutes. If you have consumed the 90 minutes and you get the first pause, you know, you are very sure that you are behind. You know that you are behind. So as you know that you are behind, because you have spent 90 minutes and you have completed only 60 questions, now to take a pause is something good, because you have to re-strategize. You go on toilet, you take 5 minutes, you think about it, how you are going to accelerate without compromising, and then immediately you go. Maybe when you reach 220 questions, also you are having another pause. That pause that you will be getting, you can find yourself, oh, okay, 120 questions, and now I have spent 130 units. Wow. If you have spent 130 units, you are remaining with 100 units. Yes, you have completed just 120 questions, and you are remaining with other 60 questions. But almost, yes, you are remaining with many questions, maybe, but you have tried to be very quick. Before, it was 90 minutes with 60 questions. Now you are having 220 questions with 130 minutes. Means that the other 60 questions, you have tried to do them in 40 minutes. But also don't try to overrush, because in overrushing, you lose control and you don't think about the question. So those are the things. Now, the tips when we are talking about least and most, there is also where they say always or never. Most of the time, there is no policy where there will not be any exception. Most of the time, never or always, most of the time the question is wrong, because always or never, but don't generalize it. And then there is where they say, anyway, there are some other hints that you can see, but the most important is about the time management. Always you check your clock, and also you utilize your 2-pause time to re-strategize. That's it. No other question?
Thanks so much, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor.
Question coming.
James?
Yes,
Yes,
Doctor.
James.
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm also from Kigali. I think I will get some time and meet you for some kind of tips and motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Welcome.
I just want. Thank you. I just have one question. During the exam, do they give you all the questions at once, or you are giving them in bunches?
No.
Thank you.
They give you one by one.
Okay.
You can't know the next question until you go to it.
I thought maybe once you have answered some questions, there's a way you can go back to some of the questions.
Yes.
Wrongly
Yes,
chosen.
you can go back.
Okay. And you said maybe submit at once.
Yes, no, when you reach at the submission, also they ask you, there are some questions that you have flagged maybe to go to them for the repeat. Then they give you that chance so that you can go back and you can only see the flagged one and you think about them if you complete when there is much time. So anyway, the interface, what I can give you as a hint, when you go to start the exam, take your time to read the instructions first. For 2 reasons. The instructions will show you the platform, how you are going to utilize. Another reason is very simple. When you go to start the exam, you have a fear. Everyone will have a fear. Even by being a minister or anyone, for the exam, you will have a fear. So when you go through the instructions, you forget the fear is no longer there. You take your time. It is just like a psychological safety. It helps you really to relax, and then you start the exam when you are okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome. Yes, Mucho? Mucho?
Thank you very much, Dr. Mitwamu at Kigali. I failed to pass my PMP exam on the Sunday, but I failed you to two reasons. I just want to hear the tip from you. I failed to differentiate the best and the better. Even if when I using a study hall and when I submitted the question, my choice, I just make the balance. What is the best and what is the better? So I just want to hear the hint which can make it easy to differentiate to the better and the best. So
that's fine. First of all, you can use what we call if they didn't say the least or the most. Now it means there are some, you use elimination. You have to check what should be wrong. You can say this most of the time, two are very wrong and someone can find. And then you remain with two alternatives and you check among those two alternatives. Most of the time, elimination also helps.
Maybe for clarification, for me, I just perform well to select the best alternative, but to choose among the best one among the two, that is for me very difficult to me.
Yeah, it is very difficult sometimes when it comes to time, because also you have to check time. But when you are remaining with the two, you have to go, there is a keyword, there is a destructor, which is in the question itself. When you figure it out, automatically, you can know. For example, they can ask you the way that you can accelerate your project, and they put all of the thing, and then you're putting fast tracking and crashing. So fast tracking and crashing, those are the correct solution for accelerating the project. But in the keywords, if they have said at any cost, immediately it will be crashing. If they have said within the budget, then it will be fast tracking. So now when you remain with the two, now there is a keyword which is there, maybe hidden somewhere, you have to figure out. When you don't figure out, it becomes like that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Doctor, can I ask something again?
Yes, please.
Well, given your experience of being a PMP holder, don't you think even a language proficiency matters a lot in this?
Yes, the language proficiency matters, but for me, I'm from the French background. And I have done my PMP certification in 2017. You understand it is a long time back. So language matters, but to overcome the language issue, it is to read much and to do more exercises. And the more exercises I can give, for example, because sometimes you find that to getting access to the question bank, it becomes very expensive. If you go to the PMI, most of the time it will be having a subscription. I encourage you to get the PMP study hall. This will be helping you, but after 3 months it can expire, or 6 months, or depending on the package you have taken. But also on Udemy. Udemy sometimes they have some courses which are cheap, like $11 or $10, and you are having the long time access. And when you go to Udemy, you select the content which is having questions which are related to the domain and which is having more questions. And by doing them and by checking the explanations, it becomes very easy for you to understand. So, or because, for example, when, for example, someone join us and we give the access, sometimes we charge also the training fees, which becomes high. And also for us, most of the time we focus to the corporate business to business, and we find that our fees sometimes they are not coping with individual person. So Udemy can do, but on Udemy, because there are a lot of contents, there may even be some misleading contents. So you have to make sure to select the best ones. So you have the PMP study halls. After the PMP study hall, because why do you need also another one? Because having one question bank is not enough, because when you have gone through that question bank several times, now you know the answers even without thinking, which means that that question bank is no longer serving the purpose. You should be having another one to test if really you are somewhere. Okay, so I think now we are done, eh? So, Nelson, I think you can now close because no questions are coming anymore. Yes, Karasira?
Thank you so much for the presentation. I'd like you to like advise on how like someone can say that now I feel I am ready to sit for exam, like a kind of checklist that someone should have and make sure that maybe I am now confident enough to sit for exam. So and kindly take us through like in the process, how the project management process, how they go through one by one. Like if I can share with you the link or the chat for you to maybe take us through the how they they are integrated. Thank you.
Anyway, so let me be very simple, and maybe also in my next in my next presentation, which will be maybe after 1 week, another week, I might be there presenting, and I may take a time to discuss on that. But the first thing is what we call ECO, PMP exam content. The exam content, you have the pupil domain, it does have a 14 task. The process domain, it does have a 17 task. And the business development domain, it does have a 4 task. And all of them, they do 35. So now, there are 2 ways you read, but also the practice questions will help you. When you are above 85 in every domain, also you have to check to take the ECO. It is just like the table of contents. And then you say everything, you check everything if you know, just like in general, what is in that content. Because when they prepare the exam, they are utilizing ECO. So did you download the PMP exam content, the ECO?
Yes, I have it.
You have it. So when you see it on the table, you go, for example, in the organization, in the pupil. In the pupil management, you are having 14 tasks. You have to check on all of those 14 tasks. What is the most complicated to you? What is the most easier to you? So this will help you to know how far you are. Along with the percentage in the practice quiz.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the best resources I can also recommend, which is online. Now, the PMP study hall, it is mandatory. Everyone should be having. Now, the second one, also, but it becomes more expensive. There is a lady called Rita Marke, and Rita, she passed away, but her company is still really working very well. And you can also check for the practice questions there. They have really a well-structured question bank. So really, thank you very much. It was a nice meeting. I'm looking forward and to hear from you in the group that you have passed, you have nailed the certification. So even, for example, if you fail, don't be discouraged. I believe you will reach there one day. So thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. So let's connect again and let's meet next week, Tuesday, for another session. And all the best for those who will be writing the exam before that date. On these notes, I wish you a nice end of evening and see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.